there is a great shift and a great change happening right now on our planet. And I wanted to first share some insights, share some beautiful insights into what's going on. So right now, there's been a portal that's been activated. Now, this particular portal is an amplification portal. It's actually amplifying the law of attraction, and it's amplifying our own ascension. Now, why this is important is because right now we've got a greater capacity to evolve than ever before. This particular frequency portal is allowing for very rapid and great evolution. Our Earth has been evolving, and as a collective, we've been already activated onto the journey where we're able to evolve and transcend to the 4D, to the 5D, yeah. And what this means is, beautiful, and what this means is, I was speaking to the Turing Council yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday. What day is it? the day before. And I was actually asking specifically around this as well. And what they shared with me was that, yes, you know, what's happening right now on the planet is a part of the divine plan, and it was actually asked for by the collective human consciousness. What this means is your souls, our souls, asked for a pathway to be able to shed certain layers, certain denser layers that aren't in our highest good, in order for us to shift and evolve into a higher frequency of existence, and of course ascend and continue to evolve to 4D and 5D. Now, what's really happened, and there was many different paths, and what they explained to me was that the reason why this was a path was because the portal into transformation for a lot of people is through contrast, meaning that not everybody is able to evolve and transform simply by learning something in a book, simply by being told and given wisdom from others. A lot of people, and especially within, you know, this dimension, we learn more through experience than through teachings. And so a lot of people on the planet right now are taking an experiential journey through contrast to then have to, you know, face off with the triggers and all the things that are happening. And this is divine. It was asked for by their souls. And so the Turing Council actually explained to me, and for those of you that don't know much about the Turing Council, which I do say all of you should, I'm personally working with the Turing Council through Livia, who's a trance channel, and having trance channeled coaching and mentoring regularly, and have been doing this for many months now. Now, side note, fixed up, let's keep going. So yeah, so I was actually asking, how can I support my clients, my tribe, even more in, you know, what's happening? And for me, I know personally that, you know, there's many different timelines, many different realities, and our frequency dictates where we shift to. And if we allow ourselves to fall into frequencies of fear, then of course we end up in realities that mirror that back. We manifest more of that same frequency vibration within our physical realities. And so I was asking, you know, is my job right now simply to, you know, hold my beautiful tribe and, you know, support them to maintain and raise their frequency? And the Turing Council said no. So let me explain. They said to me that right now, you know, everyone's got their own path, and some people's path will be, of course, you know, riding a higher frequency wave, unlocking more, downloading more, shifting, you know, and they will take the path of working on their, like, you know, maintaining their frequency, choosing the path that is around, you know, shifting into like higher frequency timelines faster, because in this portal, the law of attraction is actually amplified. So this is actually a portal where we can manifest so much faster than any other time in history. And then they also said some souls and some beings, it's a part of their path to experience some of the density contrast right now, because it will give them greater expansion. And so to not look at either you're vibing high or vibing low and to make either of them right or wrong, there's actually no right or wrong right now. And whichever path we choose, if we choose to take the path of really doing the work, transmuting, more consciously, that's one path. And yes, of course, it will lead to further evolution and ascension through this portal and through what's happening. And if we do, find ourselves looking around the physical plane and a lot is happening, which is triggering more fear, and we're unable to receive higher frequency guidance and shift our frequency to be with that, to be with what's happening in the physical world, to allow ourselves to receive and transmute through that pathway, to not look at the pathways as right or wrong, to not look at the journey as one way or another. And, even when I was talking to them, I was like, well, it's like renaming, the like high frequency and low frequency, or denser frequency and higher frequency, and not seeing it as one's lower, one's higher, and actually seeing it more like they're just two pathways. And let's not even call them high frequency or low frequency. Let's call them yellow or blue. Cool? You can either go down the yellow path or the blue path. And of course, there's many more than this, but just for the metaphor of this. And so my job right now is to support you in any way, shape, or form I can, and to remind you that you have choice. And whatever you choose, I'm here for you. And please know that if you choose the blue path, I'm here for you. Come and bring your questions to this session. And if you choose the yellow path, and we're not even making them high or low, yellow or blue takes away from, this judgment almost of what frequencies are, and trusting that if there are things going on in your physical plane, yes, of course, my advice is to do the work, is to transmute the triggers, is to transmute the fear frequency, is to have a look at what's coming up to the surface and work on it, because it's there to be transmuted and shifted and released from your field forever. Yet, this is your choice. It's your free will. You and only you can walk the path. I can't walk it for you. I can only hold this container and hold this space for you to, know that you are so supported, so loved, and I will channel in for you any guidance. Yeah, and even now we've called in all your collective guides and all your soul families to be here with us in order to support you at the highest. And please know there is no right or wrong. Here's the truth of what's happening right now on planet Earth. This is an evolution container. The contrast was called in because some people really needed to have some contrast to be able to deal with their shit, basically. And not to make that bad or wrong, but you get what I'm saying. And please know that you can't get it wrong, and you can't get it wrong. So you can't get it wrong, meaning whichever path, if it's blue or yellow, or if it's yellow, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, yellow, right? It doesn't matter which path you take inside of this current journey. At the end of it, you will be transformed. And that's all there is to it. There is no, yes, you can take a path which won't be as bumpy, or you can take a slightly bumpier path. Regardless, the bumpier path, if it's in your highest good, is actually just as awesome as the higher path. Meaning, does this make sense? Give me a yes in the comments if you get this. Give me a yes in the comments if you understand that it doesn't matter if you're in, vibrations that don't feel as good. Let's work on that. It doesn't matter if you're like, ooh, I'm actually handling this really well. Awesome. There's no competition. No one's winning. No one's doing it better than the other person. Everyone's got their own unique individual journey, and whichever path you find yourself on is divinely perfect, whole and complete. You can't F this up even if you tried. This portal is there. Whichever path, the yellow or blue, you will be on a journey of evolution and rapid ascension in order to purge, a whole stack of frequencies that are not in our highest good. You guys get it? Just checking. Yes, yes, yes. Love it. Yep, beautiful. And yes, okay, cool. I didn't see any no's, so we can continue. Awesome. Oh, by the way, just in case, oh, this is something I probably should tell you. The sidebar, this is my bedroom. And you're probably like, why are we in Gabby's bedroom? So the Alex Tripod, who's in both masterminds, is running an event, and she had to do it via live stream, and she was doing it at a family holiday house just up the road from me, and they couldn't get the internet to work properly. So yesterday, all of a sudden, I had her, like, she's got like a few people that have come live, and the rest of them are receiving online. So I've got an event in my home downstairs, and I'm in my bedroom because my home is quite open and my office is open. And so I came to my bedroom and closed the door so I could just have my sacred space with you, and they can serve, you know, and they can do their thing. So hence, welcome to my bedroom. All right, now that that's taken care of, in case some of you are wondering, let's continue. So there's certain things that I want to share with you and gift you, and please know, right, that I'm so here to serve, and I'm so here to serve. And the most important piece, like I said, is there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. If things come up for you, you know, please don't hide. Please know that this container is here for you. You know, please know that we're holding this container for you for the purpose of support. And there could even be times in coaching where I do advise you to go get a healing session, a kinesiology session, a coaching session. You know, we can also even look at creating, like, you know, a little hub. There's most of you like really phenomenal healers and coaches, and you know, like, you've got so many beautiful ways to heal, and we could even create a little hub where all of you can cross share your services with each other and support each other, and you know, have like healing and coaching sessions with each other, buddy up, you know, through this process, and be able to give and receive at the same time. And yeah, so we can even like look at how can we support each other as a collective, as a family, even more through this big shift, this beautiful expansion. Yeah. And so here's the things that are most important right now. Love that. Yeah, beautiful. Awesome. So here's the things that are most important right now. Stay hydrated. I'm actually not kidding. It is really important to stay hydrated because if your body is not hydrated, it's more susceptible to being triggered. And if you're not hydrated, your muscles that support your physical bone structure are not able to. Your whole physiology slouches. Our vibration actually lowers when we're not hydrated. The more water you drink, the more liquid, like good liquids that you drink right now, will assist with the transmutation of anything shifting out of past timelines and parallel timelines right now in your field. Cool. So ironically, that's actually a good tip. And it is, of course, still important, as I've been saying, to continue doing your heart activation, which I've shared across both groups. And to continue doing this daily, and you know, to stay in your own. The reason why that heart activation is so potent is because it places you into your soul connection column. What I mean by that is your heart, your connection to your soul family, your soul, the source energy, and earth is beautifully in a nice, like, gorgeous column. And when we're in our own connection to our own soul, which is the most important piece to evolution, staying connected to our soul family, and co-creating with our soul family, remembering that we're never alone, right? Now, when we're in this frequency and we consciously then on top of this request to be out of the collective grid, we're able to transcend faster, evolve faster, and not be picking up on the collective fear within the field and having that impact us. So one of the most important things to know right now is that especially if you're a healer, or you know, if you've been working with the collective grid, let me tell you a bit more about the collective grid first. This will help. So when we come to planet Earth, we automatically become one with the collective consciousness on Earth. Imagine like a netting, a grid, and you're a part of that, right? Because you are here on Earth. For those of us who have come to Earth as beings of light, as star seeds to recode the Earth, that's why we took physical form, to be part of the collective grid and upload new, different, higher frequencies into that grid to support the evolution that's happening right now, which means that we don't even have to do anything. We can just sit there and watch TV, and, you know, part of our mission is being activated, right? Now, what's happening though is right now inside of, oh, and by the way, before I get there, so that this is why when one person evolves, this is why when one person shifts and evolves, it impacts all of humanity, because we're all connected by this, you know, this humanity grid, this collective consciousness, right? And this is why it's important for, like, and the more people that are waking up in the collective grid, then it's actually like multiplying the impact, right? And that's what's happening right now. There's a rapid evolution occurring because more and more and more souls inside the collective grid are awakening. Now, what's happened recently though is that there's a lot of souls inside the grid that are in fear frequency. And if you stay connected to the collective grid, if you work on the collective grid, if you're plugging into the collective grid, you can pick up their stuff. This is especially for people in divine union. When you're with your soulmate, your divine union partner, this connection amplifies, because divine unions actually transmute a lot for the collective grid. And so this message that I'm about to share with you is one of the most important ones right now, which is staying within your connection to your soul, talking to your soul and your soul family all day, every day, having that connection be stronger than your connection with the physical world is what's going to support you at the highest. Now, if you are vibing in fear, it's really hard to reach that level of connection, and that's okay. Simply just do as much of the vibrational work in the membership site, come to coaching, get support right now in order to facilitate the raising of your frequency so you can feel one with your soul and soul family again and start receiving guidance from them. The best guidance that's going to come to you is from your soul family, is asking your soul family, please, I request your support and guidance every day, asking for support and guidance and asking questions, you know, tuning in, you know, requesting insights. You will receive a lot, which is more specific for you. We are all individual, beautiful fractals of source consciousness. You've got your own unique soul blueprint. The most important thing ever is to be connected to your own, you know, soul frequency, your own soul family frequency, and to be co-creating your life with this, yes? And especially right now, to be disconnecting from the global grid, to be disconnecting from the bigger grid and consciously doing this. So for example, you know, you could be having a great day, and all of a sudden you feel like a bit of like funny lower vibrational feeling. And I want you to know that this is because connection points are there with the collective grid, and we are picking up on the collective fears because we're there. So several times a day, all you want to do is simply go soul frequency activate, you know, play the heart activation. If you've done the heart activation several times now, you'll know that there's a triangle in your heart, a triangle in the heart of the galaxy, a triangle in the heart of Earth. And you don't even have to, you know, you can literally just go triangles activate, feel them, breathe into all three triangles, and then disconnect from the collective grid and simply affirm, I send back the collective frequency into the grid. I activate my pure frequency. This is just my frequency, and the collective frequency is now sent back to the collective grid. I'm in my own beautiful bubble. Is this helpful? Give me a yes if this is helpful. Yes, beautiful, awesome, yay. And of course, like I said, the coaching component of this container is to support you if you're finding that journey challenging, you know, and just know I'm here. And that if anything's coming up for you, it's coming up for you, not to you, you know. And yes, we're all going to have different experiences. And it doesn't, like, please get that right now. It's not, oh, I'm a loser because I manifested blah, blah, blah. No, these things are happening for us, you know, for us to be able to, and this is the biggest piece of it, Cool. These things are happening for us in order for us to be able to transmute denser frequencies out of our field as a collective, but we're doing the work individually, which also means that in the past, I've done a lot of work on the collective grid. I'm not doing that right now. I'm not working on the collective grid right now. I'm just in my own evolution, you know, and I'm just doing my own personal evolution projects, and off I go. The reason why I'm not working on the collective grid is because they need to choose. Each individual inside the collective grid needs to do their own friggin' work right now, and rescuing them is not in the highest. So please know I'm also not holding this container to rescue you. You can do whatever you want with this container. Yeah, you can do the tasks, you cannot do them. You can choose, because ultimately this whole portal is there to show us we get choice, and there's no right or wrong. And so this is important because it means that this is not the time to work on the collective grid. It's actually a time to be working on our own frequency, regardless of where we are in our evolution. And certain things are going to be popping up for transmutation, and to simply transmute them and behave the way you normally do in your evolution. When something triggers you, what do? Well, you work on it, right? And it's no different. It's the exact same game, the same process, yeah, just it's a bit more ample. It's a hell of a lot more amplified with what's going on. And so, yeah, so please know that this staying within your own soul frequency, staying connected to your soul and your soul family is the most important piece. Getting guidance from your soul family and simply co-creating deeper. This will enable all of us through this expansion portal to create an even more powerful connection with our souls and soul families. And man, that's the foundation to evolution. If we don't have a connection to our soul and our soul family, if we're not co-creating first with our soul and soul family, we can't even upload codes from other people or other civilizations, because our soul blueprint hasn't been honored. Other codes get to activate so much more beautiful when we have our soul blueprint honored, right? And then when other codes come in, they blend with our soul blueprint. Yeah, this is how we evolve more gracefully, more integrated, more quantumly, and faster as well. And so this is an opportunity for everyone to expand their channel, expand their connection to their soul beyond, you know, like we can achieve a level of channeling mastery, you know, with our soul and soul family over the next couple of months that could take people 20 years to establish. Can we just take a moment to get this, right? Because the whole purpose of this is for you to know that you're not alone. You know, it's for us all to really embody that we're not alone. And sometimes you're going to mess it around with the physical elements of life to have someone go inwards. Because when the physical world is not cooperating, then it does take people inwards, right? Because that's the journey. So like when we look around the globe as a collective, so many people on this planet have been playing in the physicality of life, have been like really, you know, judging themselves and their success and their happiness based on what's happening in physicality. Yes, yet the true path of evolution is getting that physicality just mirrors the internal. And when we do the internal work, we shift into other realities, create new timelines, right? This is what it means to be a true creator, to not have the physical world dictate for us, to not be reacting to the physical world, to be creating the physical world through our frequency. And we do this by being connected and co-creating with soul family, with source energy. Yes. And so Right now, what I'd love you to do is simply close your eyes and imagine that there is a beautiful activated high frequency triangle within your heart field. And this triangle holds the frequency of abundance and joy and love and play and co-creation. And having this triangle beautifully inside of your heart field, welcoming it into your heart field, breathing it into your heart field. And now sending the same frequency copy triangle into the very heart of planet Earth, into the heart, the core of Earth, and placing it there, the love, the abundance, the play, the joy, the co-creation. And now breathing, sending the intention of your breath into the core of Earth, breathing into this triangle, breathing one with Earth, to co-create with Earth, to shift as she shifts, to remember that you are a part of Earth, breathing into that beautiful triangle in Earth. Wonderful. And now placing this triangle, another version of it, the third one, into the heart of the galaxy, the heart of the quantum, the heart of our galaxy, trusting that your soul knows exactly where to place it, placing it within the galaxy, within the frequency of your soul family, your soul, breathing in to the triangle in the heart of the galaxy, breathing into the heart of the galaxy. Intending your breath into the heart of the galaxy. And now as these three triangles are there, see them as a beautiful line, one above you, one below you, one inside you, and connected by a beautiful golden thread, a thread coming from the heart of the earth into your heart space, into your physical heart, a thread going from your heart into the galaxy heart. And through these threads, all three uniting in one. And through this beautiful connection, now breathing into all three triangles, intending your breath to go into the galaxy, your heart, and the heart of Earth at the same time. And with each breath aligning even deeper your own soul blueprint signature essence. Beautifully now, seeing spheres of light circulating you like discs that go all the way from the heart of the galaxy all the way down to planet Earth through you, and it's like you're in a chamber. These discs are around you and through you, and you're in your own column, a beautiful frequency column. And these discs all the way coming down have placed you now into your own frequency shielding column. And inside of this column, where these discs are spinning and you're in the disc, and this disc goes all the way out a couple of meters potentially outside your field, beautifully holding you inside of your own chamber, inside of your own soul blueprint signature frequency. And knowing that when you're here, you are not connected to the collective grid. And so now feeling the collective grid, seeing it in your third eye vision as a grid that's outside of you. It's a grid that you can observe inside of this beautiful column, this beautiful container that you've now activated around you. Notice that you can see and feel the collective grid outside of yourself, observing it as if you were on the moon observing planet Earth, as if you were in a different galaxy observing planet Earth. You are now disassociated from the collective grid, from the receiving from the collective grid. And now sending a golden cord from your heart field into the collective grid, yet letting it be only a one-way channel, which means that anything that's of the highest good in your frequency for the collective grid can be connected and shared with the collective, and only that's in the highest good, and trusting that there's nothing for you to do, that your soul will simply do this for you, trusting that your highest intentions and the highest good of the collective will enter the collective grid. Yet right now you are not receiving from the collective grid. And if there's nothing to share, nothing gets shared. And that's as simple as it is. Nothing more to do, nothing more to be inside of that process. And allowing this thread now to simply disappear, and allowing your soul family to support you in sharing anything into the collective grid that's in their highest. And so at any time throughout your day, you can simply sit, breathe into your 3 triangles, activate your soul blueprint frequency, beautiful column container, place the collective grid outside and declare, I send everything back that's not mine into the collective grid. And so now declare with me, I send everything that is not mine and my soul frequency back to the collective grid for them to choose, for them to take their own journey. And this is in the highest good. Thank you. I call in only my soul frequency and I do my own work. Choo, da, 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 da. Choo, 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 choo. Choo, 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 choo. Beautiful. And now simply coming back to your body, twiggling your fingers and your toes, and before you open your eyes, taking another breath into your 3 triangles. And before you open your eyes, saying, Soul family, I request your support and guidance right now. Thank you. Soul family, what message do you have for me right now? And allow yourself to receive now from your soul family, either through frequency waves or through thought form. Regardless of if you receive a thought form or not, know that you're receiving either frequency waves or direct communication. Go ahead, receive this now. Soul family, what message do you have for me right now? Beautiful. And with this process, which you'll of course have a recording for, notice that this process was not long. Notice that this process that we just went through was, like in the activation and in the requesting, support from your soul family, either through frequency waves or direct thought form, did not take a very long time. To do this every day, maybe several times a day, will really serve right now. And so I'm sharing this with you because these are the downloads I've received too. Like even yesterday, I was sitting at the dining table eating my lunch and everything was great. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, and I felt like a weird, like frequency into my field. And I was like, oh, is this mine? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, okay, cool. And then simply just activating my own frequency, disassociating from the collective grid, sending all collective frequencies back to the grid within 3 seconds. It was gone because it wasn't mine. Now, this is an important piece. And then, of course, if there's anything that's yours, then it's time to do the work on it. Whatever that may be, it's there for you and your highest good. And so I'd love to know now from you, what are your takeaways? What are your questions around this? Please share inside the comments. Please share inside the comments. Let me know what have you received? What have you learned? What's different after this transmission, this first transmission? I had massive stuff come up this morning and hearing it's happening, being shown for me, not to me. Yes, beautiful, Katie. I'm realizing how far I have come in holding my own frequency. Beautiful, Carissa. And keep it going. Please get that this is an expansion. So I'm doing really well holding my own frequency, yet I'm still very consciously choosing to use this ascension portal as well, in order to allow myself to shift and evolve and receive more. And even especially around, there's a very specific mission that Lydia and I are currently being activated into. And so using this portal for that as well. Beautiful. What have we got? So, yep, exactly what I needed. Yep, beautiful. I'm expanding faster than I can keep up. I love the yellow and blue path bit. Yep, awesome. To stay connected to my soul. Have been so sensitive to it all, yes, Hannah, especially those of you that, part of your soul mission is to transmute collective grid. You may need to do this process 8 times a day. And it takes policing yourself. The more you do this too, please understand, the more you play with this technology, this energy frequency technology I've shared with you today, the more you embed it. You don't need to listen to the recording again. You're just, it's like boom, triangles, activate, beautiful column, activate, grid outside of myself. I now send all frequencies back to the grid, activating mine. Soul family, please share messages and guidance right now with me. And just saw how clearly create a flow of energy to Earth and to my clients. Beautiful. And a source from my soul planet downloaded a meditation to share too. So awesome. Trust and surrender. Love, love, love. It's giving me more certainty as well. Beautiful. Security. I learnt how I have been a servant of Source for decades, but yesterday the energy was so strong. It pinches my nerves. This was great. Awesome. I'm in full trust. Wonderful. Let's see what divine abundance people are saying. My husband is dealing with this very different to me. He's full of fear, and now it explains why he's experiencing it differently to me, and it's okay. Yes. Oh, I love that you shared this, Jackie. Please get your people around you have their own paths. Please look at it as yellow and blue. Please know that, yes, you can. Of course, you can meet them. And, if you see them in fear, have compassion. Meet them in between the 2 timelines that you're in. Yeah. Have compassion and ask them, how can you support them? Ask them, how can I support you right now? Yeah. And know that you can support, yet you can't make anyone do anything. You can support, yet, it's for all they need to take that path. That's the path their soul has chosen for them, you know, and it's in their highest good. Haven't you noticed that some of the most contrasting challenges you've been through, you would not take back now because of who you became at the end of it? And if you had done it differently, you wouldn't have gotten all the pieces that you got. So I love that you shared this, Jackie, because this is so important. You are going to experience members of your tribe, in your family, in your friendships, in your businesses, experiencing this differently. What you can do is be loving and compassionate and simply offer support. Yeah, don't rescue, don't run in, don't tell them anything, don't coach them. Ask. How can I support you? Ask. You know, are you open to having a conversation about this? Get permission. Yeah, obviously you guys are all here and you've jumped on this webinar. You've given permission for me to share this with you and to coach you, right? But yet with our family, our children, our, you know, like all the world around us, it is just that, seeing it as blue and yellow and not needing them to walk the same timeline as us. There are so many so many timelines active right now on this planet. And, you know, there's going to be people in your life that you may even feel a bit like this with, you know, through this time space, and it's okay. I love that you shared this. Thank you. And Jackie says you've been doing the heart activation 2 to 4 times a day. It gives you that sense of feeling supported and surrendered. Yeah. How beautiful is it, right? We have the tools, you know, and please remember, like, the simplicity of it. There's no right or wrong. Either way, at the end of this, you will be evolved. You will have evolved to the next level. And the most important piece is keeping that connection to our soul and our soul family going and expanding it. You know, it's not about, oh, I feel shit now, I need to connect to my soul family. By then, it's kind of so much more work. This is maintenance. This is also giving advanced souls like you the opportunity to be even more awesome at maintaining, at, you know, the mastery of co-creation. Yeah, not using these tools just when life is shit, using these tools to go beyond what's awesome. Because if we use evolution tools purely to get out of a hole, yes, they're helpful this way. Yet when we use evolution tools when we're not in a hole, when we're already in a high frequency, then we get to expand and unlock more than we can possibly imagine. And so this is the opportunity right now, regardless of if you're on the yellow road or the blue road, the path is the same, you know, and it just means that there's different things available. Love that. Chaitanya, a couple of weeks ago, Livia cut cords that were transmuting for the collective and felt so calm since then. Beautiful. This morning, though, we heard that a man broke into someone's house, blah, 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 and that did scare me. Yeah. And look, of course, we're, you know, like, things can trigger us into lower density frequency, and that's the work for us, right? So whatever triggers us into a bit of fear, you know, please know that fear is not our authentic soul truth, yet that doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it like, sometimes we actually need to sit with it. Sometimes we need to sit with lower density emotions so we can feel what our truth is. Sometimes we do need to experience, because sometimes we cover shit up. Sometimes we've also been taught, you know, on this planet to be people pleasers, to be a good girl, a good boy, to stay silent. There's a whole bunch of coding that's had people mask their true feelings. Stay positive, you know, when really you're not. And this is a time to allow the feelings to actually have a voice. And so if you do have feelings come up that are yours, talk to them. You know, fear, what are you showing me? What are you telling me? You know, allow yourself to create a relationship with the frequency and learn from it. Ask it what it's here for. Ask it what you know, yeah, what it's here for, and what is your highest path. Ask your soul family, what is the purpose of this? What's the path of this? Show me, you know, what to like what to do right now with this. If you're confused, of course, bring it to Frequency 5 coaching too. Bring it to your own coaches, your own healers. Yeah, bring it to each other. All of that. Thank you for sharing. Yes, thank you. Awesome. The maintenance part, right? So important. Yep. Because often, and this is the, like I said, like I'm doing, my frequency is really awesome. I'm not currently in a lower frequency like timeline, yet I am consciously allowing, because I know that a portal has been opened that's amplifying evolution, amplifying law of attraction, amplifying everything. I'm doing more vibrational work right now than I was before this, because oh my gosh, what an opportunity. What an opportunity right now to be able to rapidly expand and manifest. We can manifest so much faster in this portal. Like I said, law of attraction is more sensitive, it's more activated, and thereby we are faster attracting. I've been doing beautiful work on every area of my life. Extra awesome, tuning into timelines and realities of my highest desires, and playing in the quantum, uploading from them, tuning into them, I'm having so much like fun. But also I realized, I was like, wow, I'm actually doing more frequency work. And why wouldn't I? Like, why wouldn't you take this opportunity? It's not, oh yeah, I'm sweet, I'm calm, I'm handling all of this okay. Dude, there's an expansion portal open. Play in it, you know? So like from either or ends, like from all the different timelines in all the different spectrums, our purging will be amplified and shift faster. And our manifestations are also shifting faster and being able to materialize so much faster right now. Beautiful. Awesome. Yes, love the idea of mastery of it. Beautiful. Debbie, my hubby, also is much higher frequency, which is ripping through our family. He usually is much quieter. Yep. Yep, beautiful. And I, yes, had a massive realization of my rescuer and victim and even aggressor cycle. Yeah. And certain things are going to be coming up, right? Like, and this is the work, like certain dormant things will be more amplified because the environment's different. In each different playground, each different frequency, each different environment, dormant frequencies may not be triggered, but then something like this can happen, and things that you maybe weren't aware of, weren't being triggered in the old reality, are now being triggered. No right or wrong, just do your freaking work on it. And that's all we do. Now, the next piece to remember right now is that evolution, true evolution, calling back more soul memory, calling back more multidimensionality, which is what's happening, right? In order for us to take the 5D shift and shift into the 5D world, right, which is happening over the next few years. Some of us will be fully embodied in the 5D world in the next few years. Some of us will take a bit longer to get there, no right or wrong. Yet, please understand that there is so much trust and surrender inside the 5D world. In the 5D world, we're co-creating at such a profound level with our soul team, with all frequencies. In the 5D world, we're co-creating with codes. We're co-creating with wisdom. We're actually communicating and having relationships with each code that we hold in our field, each code that we upload. These are different playgrounds. And the journey we're having right now is preparing us, shifting us to be able to play there. Now, what that means, though, is that there's a release of control. In order for us to trust and surrender, we need to release control. Now, why this particular pathway is powerful is because if you take away people's jobs, people's businesses, people's ability to leave their house and hang out with their friends, and look at so much physical, stuff has been taken away from people across the globe, right? Now, what this means is they had a lot of control in those places. They got safety and certainty from those physical things. They were anchored into those physical things. Yeah, money, for example, is one. One of the greatest journeys, some people take is around not needing to have a certain amount of money in their bank account to feel abundant. You know, if we need to have stacks of money in our bank account to feel abundant, yes, we've got a level of abundance, yet on a higher frequency plane, we trust and surrender and know that money always shows up. And so some people are going to be dealing with this in order to surrender, in order to release control. And this is why I shared the swinging buffer code with you all and the activation of the swinging buffer code, because it's one of the codes that's been like really accelerated across the globe right now. Yeah. And so, my beautiful friends, know I'm here. Know that you can play in this container as much or as little as you like. Know that, you know, nothing you do is wrong. Cool. Know that if you are vibing in a higher timeline, please don't look at others and judge them or look at them like they're not doing it well enough and, you know, you're meant to be like evolved and you're not handling this. Please refrain from this. Allow yourself to see everyone as blue or yellow with no attachment, no tag, no, you know, just no meaning attached to it, and get that this is a unique evolution portal in history and the old paradigms don't apply to it, and simply love and support each other. And if you do see other people struggling with what's happening, just send them love energetically. You know, if you see them react, get triggered, please don't buy into it with them. Don't jump into rescue or yell at them. You know, send them love from your soul to theirs, you know. And yes, of course, if they're getting in your face, have some boundaries and yeah, like, you know, yes, take a stand for you. I'm talking generally, you know, when we observe, as an observer, you're creating realities. As an observer, we all are. And if we observe with love, we actually shift into higher timelines, higher realities. We as a collective activate the higher frequency realms and call the people vibing at them into them with us, which means you are now shifting through timelines extremely fast. Yeah. Look at took a stand. LOL. Now I'll send love. Beautiful. Yeah, including self. Thanks, Carissa. The compassion and love for self. If you fall into it too, love. You know, like it's okay. You know, one thing, like it's really important to get this right. There is no right and wrong. If your journey takes you into some contrast, it's perfect, whole and complete. You're not a freaking loser. You didn't mess it up. You didn't do it wrong. If your journey is having you be in, you know, accelerating higher frequencies, you're not special. You're not better. Okay. You're not more evolved and better than anybody. It's not a look at me and, you know, we're all one at the end of the day. We're all fractals of source consciousness. And even as we evolve, you know, I was chatting with the Acturians about this and they were sharing with me that as evolution occurs through dimensions, you know, the beings in higher dimensions to us are able to merge into a collective, you know, and let their identity go and work as collectives. And so like the Acturian Council of Light, for example, are non-physical beings that are from Arcturus, from the 5 and 6 dimensional planets of Arcturus, yet they've, in their evolution, they're the ones that I co-create with as 7D, they've chosen to take non-physical form, join a collective consciousness, let go of their individual identity, yet they're still holding the identity of Arcturus. Then as we go up, after the 10th dimension and beyond, there's no identity to a planet. Yeah, the collective like consciousnesses that are co-creating together, working as one together, aren't even identifying anymore with the planets that they originated from. Like, please understand that we truly are all one. Yet, you know, like that we're intercollected. Like even the Acturians were saying that the shift that's happening on Earth right now, yeah, where we're ascending from 3D to 5D, is having them ascend to 8D and 9D. How cool is that? That they're ascending to 8 and 9D as we're ascending to 4 and 5D. Isn't this cool, right? Like we're all beautifully, yeah, evolving together. And so this is why, you know, as above, so below, and to just really lovingly embrace this. We are all part of one. And there's no right and wrong. And as long as we can maintain love for self and others, we can actually shift through this faster. There's one more piece. Do I share it now? Okay. Also, if you wish to play this with me, don't give your attention. You refrain from giving attention to this virus or even using its name, because the more attention we give this particular, and it's just a vehicle. Please get that the virus itself is a vehicle that's currently being used for this rapid expansion, and regardless of which path it takes people in, right? Yellow or blue. Now, if we continue to talk about it, if we use its name, then we're actually connecting and associating more with the vibrational frequency of it. Does this make sense? So if you feel resonant, like if you resonate with what I'm sharing right now, it is also important to not give that attention, to just do your own inner work, and to not even use its name. You'll see in my content, I have not used the name of this virus once, not once. And there's a reason for this. I am not allowing myself with my creator coding to birth into that, to activate, to allow some of the stuff going on within that to be amplified. I know that I get to choose and focus into realities and pathways that aren't this one. And so, of course, we give breath and life and focus with our creator, God and goddess coding into that which we desire, into looking in beyond this. Yeah. So if this resonates with you, then I ask you to also stop referring to this, talking about it. You can refer to it, but refer to it to the global shift that's happening, the global changes that are happening. Still, same message received, just the frequency isn't anchoring in,